Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Color X Malice. Today we're just going to work on Sasazuka's extra and bad ending. Well, first we're going to do his extra, and after that I'm going to do my final impressions with him, or semi-final impressions, because it's going to be before I read his Blighted Love Ending. So you can stick around for that after the extra here if you'd like to. But yeah, basically I'm keeping all the good stuff before the bad stuff, in case anybody wants to shut the video down before the bad stuff. So you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Sasazuka. Sasazuka, please listen to me.
Can't you see I'm busy?
I know that, but you're getting up early tomorrow, right? We finally got together, so about...
Then make it short. 3 minutes. I kept my eyes fixed on the screen, but I could feel Ichika starting to get annoyed and dissatisfied. Ever since I returned to the police force, my workload seems to know no bounds. I was at the main bureau daily, but sometimes, even after I got home, I was still doing work from my computer. In the fluid world of network security, unsecured systems and cyber attacks could kill if you let your guard down, even late at night. When that's how you had to live your life, it was only natural that your lover would be dissatisfied.
Oh.
So, what do you want? Ichika had been calling my name for a while, so I heaved a sigh and spun around in my chair to look over at her. As expected, Ichika was pouting and glaring at me. As usual, that look made me want to bully her. This instantly became my primary focus. I didn't mind looking at her mad. In fact, I liked it better than her normal look.
Oh, you sadist, you.
She's probably talking about being lonely, because the X-Day incidents had temporarily been resolved.
Temporarily?
Our everyday lives had changed pretty dramatically. Before, I just needed to send her a text to meet. We were always together investigating the crimes. We spent a short but intense amount of time together, so I honestly wasn't used to it at first. We hadn't seen each other for a while these days. Complaining isn't going to help. Huh? I thought out loud, and Ichiko responded with a suspicious expression. You probably want to spend more time together.
No, that's kind of sad too, but the remnants of Adonis are still around the country. I understand that there are things you need to do to help Sasazuka.
Being told that, I reflected on what I said. It's true that she didn't like to be lonely, but she's also never been one to impose herself on other people. She considered other people a bit too much, and held things in until she hit her limit. Some say that was a weakness, but I liked that. Although, her not saying that she's lonely recently is annoying in its own right.
What I want to talk about isn't that. Sasazuka, how much sleep do you usually get in a night?
Huh?
And I cleaned your apartment earlier, and I noticed that you had pizza delivery again. 2 large ones, too.
What was she going on about all of a sudden?
Your health.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I'm worried about how you live, Sasazuka.
Don't call me a slob or something. What are you, my mother?
I'm not your mother, I'm your lover.
I sleep the amount that's needed for me to sleep. I wanted pizza, so I ordered it. You want me to work without eating?
That's not what I meant. You're going to get sick at this rate. If you called me like you used to, I would come and cook you something more nutritious.
Well, with the situation at work like it is, I don't know when I'm getting home. You have to work too. Calling you and waiting for you is inefficient. There's no time to waste on my health, that's all. I spoke my piece, and once I finished speaking, Ichika looked hurt. I didn't say anything wrong, but I didn't want her to make that face. I never had a problem living like this before. I understand that you're worried, but all I can say is that you don't have to worry about it.
So you're saying you don't want me to care?
I didn't say that. If you wanted me to be extremely honest about things, I'd have to say I didn't particularly mind being taken care of. Rather, I actually enjoyed her coming by and cooking for me, and also lecturing me like we were both married or something.
Oh, he likes it.
She could tell me to fix my diet, but I had no intention of doing so.
He likes to be nagged, but he won't actually give in to it.
I figured it's unnecessary if I have her.
Oh, so you want her to fix her diet?
Whenever I came home from work, she came by to cook for me. I was spending time with her, but that was before I was stationed at headquarters. The situation just didn't allow for it anymore. I know I should just tell her.
I'm worried for you, Sasazuka. But more than that, I want to be useful to you. I want to support you.
Uh-huh. In other words, she got worried on her own, and her head was spinning. I don't know how she took that sigh of mine, but now Ichika looked even more down. Ichika, come here. I quietly told her that, and she looked up and came to my side. I laughed at that, and reached out my hand to touch Ichika's cheek. Idiot. I pinched her as hard as I could.
Ow! What was that for?
It had been this way since we started dating. She had a tendency of underestimating herself. She didn't understand how much I love her. It was my fault for not telling her, although it was also her fault for being so dense.
Yup, it's both of us.
If you're lonely, just say so. I'll find some time to spoil you. In the end, summarizing all that had been said, that was the root of all the worry she's having. If she came out and said it too directly, she figured that I would find it annoying, so she had to find some way to dance around it without telling me what she really wanted.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying sorry for?
I know that you have it tough, and I'm just being so selfish.
Look. Not really hiding the heavy sigh, I grabbed Ichika's arm while she was seated in the chair and pulled her close. Listen to me. Just because you became a little selfish, that's not going to drag me down. It's actually the other way around. I lifted up her chin, and she started to look down so she could face me. Without waiting, I kissed her. I gorged on her lips, and then suddenly let go. I peered into her uncertain eyes. I get stressed from work, and I get irritated when I don't get to see you for a long time. I wonder if you'd start looking for other men.
Huh?
But even so, I don't stay worried. It all goes away when I get to see her face. Her eyes filled with surprise as her face blushed. I grinned at that sight, and then I brought Ichika close to me again to kiss her.
Wait, Sasazuka!
It was a much more passionate kiss this time. I deleted all unnecessary thoughts from her head so that she only thought about me. Satisfied? She may not like me substituting a kiss for speech, but I was a man of actions, not words.
Not yet. I'm not satisfied yet.
Yet, this greedy woman says this. Huh. You're getting better at begging, Poochie.
Huh? That's not what I meant.
Then, what else is there?
If you feel better when you see me, doesn't that mean you were lonely?
Women were so much trouble. She should have already gotten her answer from all this, but she wants to hear me say it aloud. No comment.
That again! You can't do that today. Remember what you said earlier? If I'm lonely, I should just say it.
Stop splitting hairs.
That's not fair! Say it!
Why do you want to hear it so much?
Because if we can't see each other for a while, it'll help me carry on. It'll help me not to look for other men.
When we first met, she'd get afraid at every little thing I did, but now she just spoke her mind. She looked directly into my eyes and wanted me earnestly. Of course I love you. Looks like I fell for a troublesome one. I complained in my mind, but I also felt strangely uplifted at the same time. It made me think that it was okay for me to say it out loud every once in a while. I was lonely. I worked hard so I could buy us some time together. I gave up sleep and ate crap so I could work. Half of it was for you. You're so dense.
Huh?
Why are you so surprised?
But I didn't think you'd actually say it.
You got a lot of nerve making me. I grinned and stood up to push Ichika in the middle of her back, not so subtly steering her toward the bed.
Oh. What about your work? You said we'd be done talking in 3 minutes.
Yes, the talking part was scheduled for 3 minutes. Now you'll help increase my efficiency.
Huh?
I actually needed to continue working, but I'll just make up for it later. I wasn't mature enough to just return to work after she got me fired up like this. You're the one who wanted it. You better make sure you're ready for it. Ichika was about to respond in defiance, but I closed her mouth, and we sank into the bed. I'm not good with words, so if she didn't understand, it's better that I made sure I showed her with my actions. She was always on my mind, and I was going to prove that to her. All night long.
Finally, I'm really surprised that, like I said, Okazaki was the only passionate one that we had run into really so far, and Sasazuka actually gave him a run for his money. Wow, not the ones you expect. Yeah, so as for my other final impressions with Sasazuka, well, I think he was alright mostly. I really liked that, short story though, because I liked that, that added passionate side to him. But his route felt pretty short, really. I was kind of surprised. And as for the main story, I felt like the emotions were a little bit weak compared to the intensity that we went through in Okazaki and Shiraishi's routes, but there were some pretty tough contenders, and it had some really dramatic writing. Oh, and I was also kind of disappointed with how the cases panned out in his story, because, with Soda and Akito, because before the game came out, when I was reading the details of it, I thought that the middle school bombing and the bullying and the internet bullying cases sounded the most interesting, but then as we were reading the game, I thought we never really got many details about those cases. So I was like, we're just covering chasing the criminals after that, but we didn't really examine the cases themselves. So I was pretty disappointed with that. But then again, I'm a big fan of crime shows and stuff where they analyze the crime scene and all that, so of course that would disappoint me. It's weird though, Sasazuka's route's the only story in here that felt like it could be its own total standalone story. I didn't really feel like it needed to be read before or after any other routes. I like that though, because I hate it when I feel like I wish I had read a different route before I read that one, because I didn't know what the heck was going on here. I mean, it's nice for the stories to be interconnected, but not actually dependent on each other. To me, that's the ideal. Alright, now though, let's move on to the Blighted Love ending. So let me see, what do I have to do again? Give me a second to get over there. Ah, now we finally got to the Blighted Love ending. Here we go. After that, time just seemed to fly by for some reason. Okay, this is after, they raided Adonis's hideout and all that. December 24th. Christmas Eve. Sakuragawa. How can we be busier after the X-Day incidents are over than we were during them? Yeah. Don't complain just because Sasuke's busy with meetings today and tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve, so I know you're dying to have time to make out with him. You're gonna embarrass that crap out of this girl. That's not true. I was just hoping that the situation would settle down soon. I do sympathize with you. We'll keep you company and drink and eat your troubles away later. Eating my troubles? Eat them away, don't actually eat the troubles. December 30th. Oh man, we didn't even get to spend New Year's Eve together. I mean, we didn't get to spend Christmas Eve together apparently, and now it's New Year's Eve.
Hey, Hoshino, can you take these documents to the local planning department?
I didn't think I'd be spending New Year's at work.
Let me tell you a great saying I heard from my senior that applies to this situation. Cops don't get a day off. All you have is the work in front of you. I hope you tell your junior officers that one day.
Really? That's very inspiring. That's a sad tradition. Oh, the first. New Year's Day. Although Adonis has been dismantled, everyone was still slightly fearful deep down. No new incidents occurred after New Year's, and our busy work schedule hadn't slowed down. Oh, Minagishi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Hoshino.
Seems like we successfully prevented X Day. We managed to reach New Year's.
This is thanks to you and all other investigators. Oh, if you'd like, take this.
Coffee?
Think of it as a New Year's gift. Happy New Year.
He gave me caffeine, but I'm pretty sure that he needs it more than I do. Oh. Now what date is it? In the end, we continued to work hard through the new year. There were many people unable to visit their families for the holidays because Shinjuku was still under quarantine. We have to work to lift the quarantine for the sake of those people. In order to achieve that, we had to gather more material evidence so that everyone was finally convinced that Adonis was no longer a threat. There was so much work to do after the incident, because we had to sufficiently prove that the city was now truly safe. Even if it's the higher-ups who make the final decision, our work can speed up that process. I couldn't be complaining now. Well, you could, but it wouldn't be productive. The 15th. I persevered for the next month or so. Disbanding Investigations HQ?
Yes, it was originally meant to be disbanded once X Day was dealt with. It's been maintained until today because of the special circumstances and to tie up loose ends. Gun collection is going fine, so they decided that they didn't need us anymore.
I see. I knew this day would come eventually, so I couldn't say that I was surprised. Although it was kind of inappropriate, it made me feel just a little sad. If Investigations HQ is disbanded, you'll return to the Metropolitan office, right? I guess we won't be able to have lunch together like this anymore. Oh, but we should go drinking from time to time, as long as that's fine with you.
Ichika.
Sasazuka?
Turn around and close your eyes.
Huh?
Just do it. 5 seconds. 4, 3.
Okay, I turned. They're closed. I heard a snicker, possibly because he didn't expect me to actually listen. And then... Aww. How is this blighted love? This is wonderful. Huh? This is... a belated Christmas present? Sasazuka reached around from behind me and placed something on my neck. It was a silver necklace that had a pretty cute design. I looked at the head of it and it glinted in the sunlight. Huh? Huh? Seeing me confused, he spoke to me with a voice that was blunt but bashful.
I wanted to give it to you for Christmas, but we were too busy for that.
For me?
I'm sure you felt lonely because you've been so used to having something around your neck.
It's cute. Are you sure I can really have this?
I bought it for you. If you really like it, take good care of it.
Of course. Thank you so much. I feel so happy. Even if we're working at different places, I think I won't feel lonely. It's reassuring. I said that with a big smile, but Sasazuka turned away. Sasazuka?
Nothing. The signal changed. Let's hurry.
Oh, yes. Was that a bad sign?
You really are stupid. I am too. I couldn't say it.
What do you mean? That was the last exchange I ever had with Sasazuka. No! Minagishi filled me in later on. Sasazuka hunted down the traces of Adonis and found that their remnants were planning another terrorist operation in America. He was the first to volunteer to be among the dispatched to investigate it. I suppose he was just showing his own type of kindness by not telling me about it. Or perhaps I was just unable to gain his trust as his partner. Even today, I looked up at the sky while I played with the necklace he gave me. Like an abandoned cat with a collar. You dick. Ah, you could have told me. You could have invited me to go live with you in America while you investigate. I could have taken a leave of absence. That's not even blighted love. That's just like ended love. Darn it. As bad as Yanagi's end. So Shirashi had the best blighted love ending, and Enomoto's wasn't bad. It's like, that didn't even really have to be the end for Enomoto. Alright, well, I will later on be doing... I'll be doing the criminal chapter a little bit later on. Tonight as I'm recording, it's too late for me to stay up. I really hope to finish everything today, but... Nope, ain't happening. So, hope to see you later. So, whenever I get that next video out, hope to see you there, or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.